Hi, this is Kevin from Christ Connection, and I just wanted to come to you today with a quick thought on building the spiritual fire within you. Spiritual fire, God talks about himself as being a consuming fire, and that's a great picture because when we get in contact with God, we are infected by his energy and his power, and that energy produces effects around the world. And so how do you build a spiritual fire? I call myself around here spiritual pyromaniac because I can give myself whatever title I like. But when I wrote the book Enjoying Prayer, I wrote a chapter on the idea of building a spiritual fire within you. And I just want to give you the Cliff Note version today, and also give you a thought that a friend of mine shared on the same subject that I think adds to the whole equation. When you equate spiritual fire with regular fire, there's some great parallels there. Well, what do you need to build a fire? Well, first of all, you need some kindling. Well, what are those things that start fires? And when I think of that, I think about passion. What are those things that produce passion in our heart? Maybe it's books you read, maybe it's some music, worship music that draws you into God's presence and produces that passion. Or maybe it's something like an email that we could send to you, which you can sign up for, by the way, on our website. Those types of things are designed to produce passion in our life. But if you just had kindling, you're not going to have a fire that lasts very long. That's not what it's going to do. It's going to go out rather quickly. And we've all seen people who have this great heat for a short period of time and then they fizzle out. And we don't want to be those kind of people. And if you want to have something that lasts a long period of time, you need to have the logs. And the logs I equate with things that create persistence in our life. Things like God's Word. God's Word, getting into us, will create this long-lasting thing inside of us that goes over time. I mean, just for example, the attributes of God, when we think about who God is and his attributes, that can create heat over a long period of time. It may not be flashy, may not be dramatic, but it will help us to last over a long period of time. But the third component that a friend of mine, when he was preaching on this subject, brought to my attention, was the idea of a log by itself. And a log by itself is going to go out. It's not going to have that heat, that energy that logs together. And when he was talking about this, he talked about the idea of community, friendships that create heat that help us last over time. And I think that's beautiful. We weren't designed to be alone. We weren't designed to have fire just by ourselves. And so he encouraged people, and I encourage you to find those people who are also producing heat and get close to them. Keep them in your life. Keep them encouraging you, and keep them encouraging them, so that the fire together, that's the whole idea of the 100,000 challenge, that together we can accomplish more than we can by ourselves. As we come together and pray and seek God, together we can make a difference. So as you go through this day to day, maybe you need to think about your own spiritual fire. Is it the kindling that you really need to work on? How's your passion? Do you need to maybe sign up for an email? Maybe download some music that you can listen to that would encourage you in your heart for God? Or is it the logs? Do you need to find a system to get more of God's Word into your life? Do you need to take better notes when you're listening to messages? What is it that you need to do so that you last over time? Do you find a lot of spikes in your life? Then you need to have those things into your life through God's Word that creates the long-lasting heat. And finally, maybe you're feeling isolated. Maybe you're all alone. You're trying to do this by yourself. You weren't designed to be that way. So what do you need to do to get close to some other people who will encourage you, and you can encourage them, and together you can make a difference. So just a thought on your spiritual fire, and then as all those things come together, you'll get close to God, and then you'll make a difference, not only where you are, but around the world. So just a quick thought for you today. Thank you, and God bless.